Okay, good morning. So I'm going to start. It's already 9:40. So, yung regarding last week, no, may nagtanong if anong klaseng software ang gagamitin for the laboratory. Unfortunately, when I asked the staff or the office in the College of Education, ang sabi nila, your subject, which is TLE6, is only 3 hours, 3 units yan, and lecture lang daw po. So, almost lecture lang po tayo until the end of the semester. So, yun, wala pa tayong laboratory. That is why 3 hours lang pala yung ating klase. So, yun lang. So, more on theoretical lang po tayo sa ating subject for TLE6. So, sorry about it, no? Kasi wala daw po tayong laboratory. Yon. Okay? So, I'm going to start. So, we will end at 10:30. So, I hope na matapos ko at 10:30 today, no? And then, by next week, starting next week, every Monday na po tayo mag-meet. Ngayon lang po, dapat nung Wednesday yun, no? Kaso lang may importante po akong in-attend na meeting. So, ngayon lang kasi since it's last Monday, it's a holiday. So, every Monday po yung ating lecture. The activities will be on every Wednesday and Friday. Just visit the Google link. So, after I finish this one, you're going to have a recap, it's a quiz, so, or an seat work, and it will be open by by Wednesday pa po. Kasi sa Monday, i-continue ko yung lecture for the animation. Ayan. So, lecture lang tayo, wala daw laboratory. So, more on theoretical aspects lang po tayo. No hands-on experience po. Okay. The first module for the TLE6 is animation. So, the intended learning outcomes of this module. So, upon completion of this module, the trainee or the student must be able to explain the types and uses of animation and describe the uses of tools and equipment in animation. So for this day, ipo-focus po natin yung explain the types and uses of animations. So under this one, meron daw after the types and uses, so we will focusing more on the uses of tools and equipment. Actually, may kulang kasi ito dito. So I will incorporate also that under these topics, yung what are the available software, software, it can be in the computer or in your cell phone, na pwede pong gamitin as as an animation program. Yon. Bale, i-introduce ko lang yung mga softwares. If you want to explore on it, so you can. Pero for this subject, wala po tayong exploration. So more on, i-introduce ko lang lahat yung animation. Yan. So we will focusing first on the learning outcomes one, which is to explain the types and uses of animation. Yan. So we will be starting to discuss the types and uses of animation. Yan. So what are your learning, the contents? So under the types and uses of animations, we'll be focusing on the types of animation, the uses of animation, animation trends, animation styles, and the material use. Okay, so yung material, yung topic nito, I'm going to upload it later in our Google Classroom, the PDF file, so that you can also read regarding the types and uses of animations in preparation for your first assignment or first quiz by next week. Okay? So, the methodologies. So, self-paced instruction po to. So, we don't have a demonstration here. So, kasi uses, types pa lang kasi to. So, may problem po to dito. And then, we also have interactive discussion. The assessment, so I will not question you orally. Perhaps if time arises during the discussions, may iko-question ako, so okay lang yun. So this one, ito ay will be you going to have a written examination. So your examinations will be in the Google form. So, ma-available lang po yung Google Form link doon sa Google Classroom natin. Just click it at makikita nyo na po yung inyong examination. It can be an examination or a quiz, assignment or a seat work. So, yung portfolio, the portfolio will be compiled in my database in a Google Drive. So, lahat na ina-answer po ninyo sa Google Form will be uploaded automatically sa aking Google Drive. So there's no need of you for my subject to print and give the portfolio and pass it to the guard personally, okay? So yun lang po. Ang aking gagawin is lahat online. You just upload it or you just answer it. That will be your portfolio for this subject. Okay, so that's the contents, conditions, methodologies, and assessment methods under the types and uses of animation. Yan. So before we discuss the contents, we will discuss first or define first the technical terms used in the animation. The first one is, what is animation? Yan. So animation is the process po siya. Process of making the illusion of motion and change by means of the rapid display of a sequence of static images that minimally differ from each other. Yon. Kaya siya nagmo-move. So this is a process of making the illusion of motion. Yan. Ang tawag dyan, illusion of motion. Pag motion, meron siyang change. Kaya yan, may change. Diba? We all know that in physics, if there is a motion, there is a change in position, change in, ano pa ba? Basta ang alam ko, change in position yung motion. Okay? So, kaya siya sinawag na animation. Actually, si animation, galing din yan sa anime, no? Anime, ibig sabihin cartoon. So, ginawang cartoon and then there's a motion. So, that is why it's animation. Okay, so meron din tayong term na known as computer animation. So, it is a process used for generating animates images by using computer graphics. So, later on, we will discuss this. What are the different computer animation applications or software that we can explore we can explore para magamit natin to create an animation. Yan. So we have also a term known as cutout animation. So this is probably one of the oldest form of stop-motion animations in the history of animation. Okay. Interactive applications. So what is this? It allows us to obtain immediate information at the click of a mouse. So yun, ano yung interactive? So yung ginagamit nating mouse, tapos kiniklik natin, example, nag-search tayo, tapos may link, tapos i-click natin yung using our mouse. So yung link na yon, that immediately adapt at the click of the mouse is known as an interactive application. Okay. So we have also keyframe. So si keyframe is the location on a timeline which marks the beginning or end of transition. We have also photocopier. So we all know photocopier, no? It's a machine. The machine that makes a that photocopy, photocopy a certain documents. So for this module, ang definition po ni photocopier is a machine that makes paper copies of documents and other visual images quickly and cheaply. We have also a term known as puppetry animation. What is puppetry animation? So, from the term alone, puppet. So, this is an animation that uses puppets. Stop motion. So, animators manipulate and photograph objects one motion and frame at a time. So, ibig sabihin, yung stop motion, stop siya, tapos gagawa na naman ng ibang frame, changing the position, yun, tapos picture na naman. So, yun po yung stop motion. Later on, i-discuss po natin yan. We have also a term known as traditional animation. So, it is an animation technique where each frame is drawn by hand. So, during the first, wala pang computer, so yung animation nila is traditional. So, pen and paper lang po yung kanilang animation. Yun. So, those are the technical terms that we need to identify and define during the discussion of the animation module. Okay, now we will discuss our first topic, which is the types and uses of animation. So, we have a term known as keyframe. So, si keyframe is a reference point in an animation that provides information about the position, shape, and size of the object. So, it helps animators control the transition from one position to another. Okay, it outlines the critical components of an animated sequence and animations that may include any number of these references depending on the length. Yon. So that is the term, that is what we call the keyframe. So later on, malalaman po natin yan in the deeper part. Double slides na duplicate. Okay, what are the types of animation? So meron po tayong tatlong types. We have the traditional, the stop motion, and the computer generated. Computer generated, we all know that we're using the computer pag sinabing computer generated. So the traditional animation, so it involves hand. So, hand lang yung ginagamit. After all the drawings are completed and colored, they can be photographed or scanned into a computer and then combined with sound on film. Yun po yung traditional. It's time-consuming since it requires the creation of around 24 drawings per second of film. So, tingnan nyo, no? 24 drawings per second. Sa isang second, 24. So, kung ilang minutes yung film mo, i-multiply mo ng 24, that's the time you need to draw. Yan. It's time-consuming and it's also labor-intensive. Kasi you need to have plenty of yung mga mahilig mag-drawing so that magkabuo po tayo ng film. So, it's labor-intensive and time-consuming. Yan po yung kanyang disadvantage in the traditional animation. While the stop motion, it manipulate and photograph objects one motion and frame at a time. So, one motion, one frame at a time po yung stop motion. Okay. The objects can be almost anything ranging from clay. So, pwede po dito sa stop motion, clay figures or paper cutout. So, later on, makikita po natin kung ano-ano to mga clay figures, paper cutouts, at saka yung household objects, mga ganyan. So, some stop motion films use actual people who hold specific poses for individual frames. Yan. After photographing the objects, the photos are then transferred to film and combined with sound. The same lang po kay traditional method. So, yung kay traditional, pencil and paper. So, by hand po yung drawing, tapos picturean, and then ilagay sa computer, i-combine ng sound, at matransfer ng film. Same sa stop motion. So, may mga objects po lang siyang ginagamit. Dito, objects po yung ginagamit. It can be clay figures or paper cutouts. So, and then picture, and then i-transfer sa computer, then combine with sound. Yun din po ang gagawin for the animation. Yan. The last one is the computer-generated. So, yung computer-generated, the animators use computer software to create films and models. So, ito po ay computer software na po ang ginagamit. The character and the objects they make can be either 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional. So, pwede po kayong 2D or 3D. So, later on, i-discuss natin si 2D and 3D. Ayan. So, what is the uses of animation? Actually, nung una, we all know that the animation use is to entertain us in movies, TV shows, and video games. Actually, animation can be also used in educational videos, advertisements, both TV and on the internet. It can also be used in the process of research and development, wherein they create simulations on how a machine or process would work. So, nagdi-design po sila using animation na titingnan nila kung paano nag-process yung kanilang research. Hindi na nila kailangan pang gumastos na malaki to create a bigger project. Pwede na pong gamitin yung animations. Ganon na din po yung mga simulations like simulation sa barko, simulation sa mga yung mga satellites, mga ganyan yung papunta sa labas. So they create simulations wherein there is na hindi na po na kailangan pang gumastos ng malaki to create a bigger project and then sasabog lang or hindi pala magiging successful yung kanilang project. So through these animations, they can create simulations already. So, mas maganda na po ito and less expensive na po yung kanilang gagastusin. So, yung una, ang alam natin animation is to entertain lang. Pero now, it can use as educational videos, advertisements, can be used in the research and development in creating simulations. Meron din scientists. Scientists use animations as well to create visualizations of abstract concepts or objects that are too small or large to be seen easily, which is helpful both for research and for analysis. So, tingnan nyo, no? May useful na, meron na pong ibang uses ang animation. Ang animation na hindi na lang puro entertainment. Meron na siyang, pwede na po siyang gamitin ng mga scientists. With the advancement of technology, okay. So we're done with the uses of animation. Okay, we now go to the animation trends. So with the advancement of technology, computer animation lends itself to many different fields. Computer animation is rapidly expanding industry that is ripe with creative opportunities. Yon. The growth of cable industry and the popularity of the World Wide Web or yung si www, nakikita natin sa internet. Yan. Have opened up more trends in computer arts and animations than ever before. Ayan. So, tingnan nyo. Si architects can use computer animation wherein they automated drafting to design custom homes to customer expectation before their eyes. Diba? Pwede na nilang ipakita. Example, meron akong buyer, architect ako. Pakita ko na lang yung aking ginawang animations na bahay and the designs. There's no need of me to create a house, a real-life house that's more expensive para ipakita lang tapos hindi pala magustuhan. So, ito, at least sa animations, sample customer, sabi niya, gusto ko ng blue. Pwede mo gawing blue yung aking design. Gusto ko ng, merong muna ng CR dito. O pwede lang automatic erase. I mean, i-remove and then create another. Yon. Yan ang purpose ng animation. So these techniques are also used in the interior design, landscape design, constructing bridges. O, ginagamit na natin yung mga architects yan. City planning, and even in the creating of rail and road system. Yan. Ang healthcare providers din ay gumagamit ng animation. Where? To demonstrate bodily functions and processes and human anatomy. Yung lahat ng mga parts ng human, pwede na po sa animations at makikita nila in persons. There's no need of them to get dead body para makita yon. So, meron na. Ito na ginagamit nila, the animations. So, also the doctors, they utilize animation to assist in planning and conducting surgical procedures and with amazing precision. Sa educators din, mga teachers katulad natin, we use animation as a visual teaching aids. Yan. Si student po ay nagbe-benefit from the interactive learning and from realistic graphic depictions of their subject matter. So later on, ipapakita ko yung mga different animations na ginawa nilang as educators, no? Ito na tinatawag nating OER. It's a simulation where it stands for Open Educational Resources, wherein teachers can teach the students. For example, online lang, walang face-to-face. Gusto niya ipakita, i-demonstrate yung mga science. Kasi may mga science daw dito wherein pinapakita niya, for example, pag maliit yung pH, kung ano yung mangyayari, pag malaki yung pH, endless po ito yung di ba, may mga chemicals po, pag mali yung pag-combine, ay, merong parang nag-explode siya. So, through this one, sa OERs, yung mga open educational resources through computers lang, hindi na kailangan pang ma-explode yun in front of the students. Yung mga wiring, hindi na kailangan pa makuryente yung estudyante. At least doon, yung computer lang po mag-simulate kung ano mangyayari, magsabi lang yun siya, mag-warning na nagkakaroon na ng short circuit and so on. So later on, ipapakita ko yung mga different OERs na pwede natin gamitin as an educational educators that they use the animation. Yon. Okay. That's the animation trends. Wherein, naging trending na po si animation sa different fields of occupations. Yan. Sa artist din, they can use animation wherein they plan, create, construct, and promote their work. Yan. Photographers uses animations to create and design than ever before. Naging maganda na yung mga photographers, di ba? Pwede na silang yung mag-create yung parang magaganda na yung mga background kahit wala ka doon. So animation po yung sample. Di ba may mga magagandang animation yung sample yung babae, yung sample photo shoot ay yung prenup wherein yung babae is maliit, nasa kamay or nasa palm ng lalaki. Yung parang ganyan. So it's an animation that the photographers use. It's also a technique actually. So yun po. Yan. So, we're done with the uses, the animation trends, at saan-saan na pwede na gamitin. Ngayon, pupunta tayo sa animation styles. Yan. So, we have the first one. You can use the traditional animation or the classical 2D animation. Yan po yung parang nag-drawing lang. So, it involves animators drawing by hand for each and every frame. So, you start here and then here hanggang sa nagbo-move siya. Yan. So, if you love to feel the pencils on a paper, then traditional approach is very fascinating. Yan. Traditional animation is creating the drawings one by one on the frame. So, we have the digital 2D and the digital 3D. Ito yung 2D. So, as you can see, yung 3D ay mas maganda na po ang kanyang graphics. Okay? Yan po ang difference ni 2D and the 3D. It's because 2D uses, so literally it uses two-dimensional space while 3D uses three-dimensional space. That is why mas realistic na po si 3D. We have also stop-motion animation. Ito yung ginagawa sa yung mga Lego movie. So ito yung ginagawa nila, stop-motion animation, wherein they use frame-by-frame animation using physical static objects. Yan. Yung mechanical animations din ito. So it's a computer generated. So the mechanical animation, so ang machine, ginawa nilang animation. So that is the animation na ginagamit is mechanical pag machine ang i-animate. Okay? So instead of creating the original machine, creating these mechanical animations allow the animators to understand how the machine works. So yung mga nagka-create ng mga bagong model na mga motor or mga ang tawag dyan, mga car, so itong ginagamit nila, mechanical animation. So ite-test mo nila, pag okay na, that's the time na gagawa pa sila ng bagong model. Yon. Kasi through mechanical animation, explain the functionality of this machine before siyang gawin in real life. So we have also the audio animatronics and the autonomatronics. Yan. Si Perry, a talking parrot in the enchanted tiki room at Disneyland. So, actually, hindi tayo makapunta sa Disneyland, no? Ang Disneyland, meron siya Hong Kong, mga ganyan. So, nandun daw si Perry o nasa tiki room. Yan. Siya ay isang audio animatronics. Ito namang robot, nakaka-sense daw siya if you are happy or not. Nagka-hold ng conversations and react according to imaginary Scott Trowbridge. So ito naman si autonomatronics. Ito si audio animatronics. Ibig sabihin, audio lang lumalabas. That's why it's a talking parrot, like Perry. While this one, si autonomatronics, it can have feelings. Nadetect daw siya ng happy ka ba and makakaroon kayo ng conversation. Ito kasi talking parrot, ibig sabihin, hindi siya nagkaka-converse siya yun. Nag-talk lang siya. While conversation, if you ask this robot, automatically, i-answer niya yung in-ask mo. So, conversation po yun. Yun po ang difference ng talking and a conversation. Okay, meron din tayong Claymation. So, si Claymation is one of the popular animation techniques created by Action League Now creators. Yan. Gumagamit silang ganito. So it's a combination of stop frame, animation, and live shots where characters are stopped into a particular frame. So it is similar to a puppet shows or yung stop motion, yung mga Lego. So, Claymation po to. Meron din tayong puppetry animation wherein they uses puppets instead of objects. Yan. Meron din tayong clay animation or claymation. Kinombine na nila yung clay animation into claymation. So wherein the objects are clay, are molded to create characters and based on the imagination of the animator, a story is unfolded. So meron silang ginamit na oil-based and water-based clays. Okay? So basta, itong clay animation or claymation, parehas lang din yung stop motion, pero clay yung ginagamit as an object. Ito naman ay cutout animation. So, in creating the frog, so nag-cut out siya ng mga pieces of papers. Yan. This is the eyes, the nose, tapos ang body, the legs, and the hands. So, this is probably one of the oldest form of stop-motion animations, wherein the first cutout animation was created by Lot Reiniger in 1926 in the movie titled The Adventures of the Prince Ahmed. Ayan. So, ito na yung pinaka-oldest form of stop-motion, yung cut-out animation. So, yung cut-out, so you use paper, card, stiff fabric, or even photographs. Meron din sand animation, katulad nito. Kaso lang, this is a messy kind of animations because you'll get your hands dirty with the sand. So, gumagamit po kayo ng mga lit glass tables so that makita po yung ginawa ninyong scene. And then, picturean. Tapos, mag-create naman kayo ng ibang scene, then picturean. So, yun. Yun po yung sand animation. You're using sand. Ito naman si typography animation. So it is all about font faces and letters. So kaya nga typo. 'Di ba? Sinabi, ma'am, error yung pag-type. Sorry, may typographical error. Kasi typograph is it implies that you're using font faces and letters. Bakit font faces? Ang font faces are the different style ng font. We all know font letters. That is the letters A to Z. Ang faces, for example, Calibri, or gusto mo Times New Roman, yun po yung font faces, ang ibig sabihin nun. It's the style of the letter. So, typography animation is all about font faces and letters. And animation is anything that is in motion. So, kino-combine niya lang yung different positions ni Cool. Bale, nag-move yan siya, yung font. So, if you're talking about the different fonts moving, then you're talking about typography animation. Yon. So, you're going to move the fonts in different positions or in different, different positions, kung up and down, left and right, or ganyan, no? So, it's a typography animation. But pag ang tinutukoy are fonts. Okay? Ito naman ay isang paint on glass animation. So, you're going to paint. So, slow drying paints are used on a glass canvas which allows the animator to manipulate the art and photograph them simultaneously. So paint po yung ginagamit para example na yung may isda, then gagawa ka naman ng paint, iba na naman, pumasok na yung isda sa loob ng tubig, mga ganyan. Meron din tayong drone-on-film animation. So, sa film na po. So, it has been around in 1916, but most of the animations are lost from that period. So, it involves scratching and etching directly on an exposed film reel, or alternately can also be created in a dark room introducing the light in variations to create shadows. So, isa-isang frame, gumagawa ng steps sa film. So, kung example, no, is itong isang frame, yung papunta na sa mukha, then yung isa-isahin niya hanggang sa nandun na siya, ganyan. So, it is drawn in film animations. It involves pictures on a film. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ni drawn on film animation. So, meron din tayong experimental animation. So, experimental animation is the art of combining two or more illogical paintings or art to create an animated scene. So paintings po tayo dito or art, wherein the form of animation is a specific structure in animated films. So it's considered to be subjective and nonlinear that deals with philosophic and spiritual concerns. So mostly, yung experiments ang pinopokus dito. Wherein, for example, ito, no, gumagawa siya ng cell. So, experiment siya under sa experiments. So, that is an experimental animation. Meron ding erasure. So, ano si erasure? Sinabi dito, rather than drawing to the images, as in traditional animation, the artist actually uses an eraser to manipulate the image. So mag-erase lang po siya dito kung anong gusto niyang ipahiwati. So pag we involve erase, that is what we call the erasure animation. It is also a 2D animation wherein ang ginagamit niya is charcoal erasure films. Ang famous animator na gumagamit ng erasure animation is William Kentridge. So it is also a technique used in traditional 2D media, photograph over time as an artist manipulates the image. Ayan. Meron din tayong pin screen animation. So si pin screen, so automatic, yung sa screen, pinipin niya lang. Katulad ng ginagawa dito, nag-pin siya sa isang cell. So a pin screen animation is a screen being pricked by thousands of headless pins. O, meron siyang pins. Used to create pin screen animation. Ayan. To create this one, ang dami mong pin na ipiprick. Yan. Si Alexander Alexieff and Claire Parker invented the pin screen animation technique in 1930s. Meron din tayong flipbook animation. Na-try ko din gumawa nito nung ako'y elementary pa. So this is the famous one in my younger years, no? Yung flipbook, wherein gagamit ka ng mga flips, tapos i-drawing mo sa side, tapos ipi-flip mo yung book, yung pages, parang nag-animate po yon. Ayan. So flipbook animation, you carry a small flipbook or flick book and draw a series of images with little variation to the pictures. So when the book is flicked rapidly, you can see the series of images in a fluid motion trying to show a scene. So one of the oldest but fascinating kinds of animation. So you can try this one also in creating the flipbook animation. So maganda po to. Especially mga bata, they really will be fascinating on this one. Kung wala po kayong flipbook, pwede naman bond paper, cut out nyo lang, tapos gawin nyo a small notebook, tapos start nyo ng drawing. Ayan. Okay. So we're done with the animation style. So time check, I still have 11 minutes to continue. Okay. So material. So what are the materials needed in the animation? So we have the storyboard. So what is the storyboard? This is a graphic organizer in the form of illustrations or images displayed in sequence for the purpose of pre-visualizing a motion picture, animation, motion graphic, or interactive media sequence. Ayan. Meron din tayong layout drawings. So si layout drawings will provide a faithful explanation of the device and its construction only to individual, such as the designers and drafters who have been intimately involved in the conceptual stage. So yan, ang kailangan nating storyboard. So yung ito ay isang graphic organizer. Ang layout drawings, yun na yung wherein nasa conceptual stage na po tayo. So nagdo-drawing na po tayo and the drawing is an explanation of our story. Meron din tayong director's instruction camera sheet. So the photography cheat sheets where you put so much thought into backdrops and color schemes. So you can overlook some of the fundamentals of portrait photography, such as your subject's pose. So para itong photography cheat sheets, ang director's instruction camera sheet. So ito ay isang parang ano yung first frame, ano yung ating story. Yan. Second frame, ano na naman. So this is the director. Kasi si director po yung magbibigay ng ano yung dapat na position ng ating picture for that frame. Kailangan din natin ng soundtrack breakdown because syempre no, yung ating animation wala po yung sound. So kailangan natin ng soundtrack breakdown. So once you have your soundtrack recorded, so nagpapili na po tayo ng soundtrack, we edit it and properly time it out exactly sa position ng ating animation so that realistic din yun. Okay? And the last one, the model sheets. So what is this model sheets? So model sheets is also known as character board or character sheet or character study or simply a study. So it is a document used to help standardize the appearance, the poses, and gestures of an animated character. So itong model sheets, ito po yung anong dapat expressions ni model, or naka-jump pa siya, or nakaupo, or kailangan ba kumakain yan. So kailangan nyo din ng model sheets instead of, aside from the director's instruction camera sheet. Kasi si director's instruction camera sheet, ito yung purpose ni camera. Ito yung parang instruction ng sino yung kumukuha ng camera. Ito naman, iba din naman to kung ano yung position ni character. It deals with the character. See model sheets. Okay? So, I guess that's it. So, si uses of tools and equipment in animation, i-discuss po natin yan on the Monday. So, any question? So, we're done with our first lecture on the animation. May question ba? Si Risa may. Question? Okay, I guess no questions, no? So it's already 10:23, so 7 minutes na lang. So the 7 minutes, so break na natin yun. So for this time, may I ask you to open your camera for my documentation of our class today.
Ma'am, may question po pala ako, ma'am.
Yes, Al Francis. As in, Al Francis ba yun?
Hindi, ma'am. Romel po, ma'am.
Romel, what's your question?
May soft copy po ng module, ma'am. Yung pinipresent niyo po.
Yes, ibibigay ko po yung ngayon, yung lecture for natin today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I-upload sa Google Classroom po. Okay, welcome. Okay, open your camera for my documentation today. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Wait lang ah. Kasi ibang shots naman. Wait lang. Ano yung aking camera? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, class. Thank you for your time. See you on Monday, 9:30.
Bye, ma.
Okay, thank you. Stay safe and God bless.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Ay, ma'am.